Hey everyone, welcome to Socialized. I took the LSAT on Saturday, by the way. I just wanted to start with that because I still barely believe it. And now that it's on camera, it's real. But enough about me. Let's talk about Karl Dean instead. So, who is Karl Dean? Well, his name doesn't have the same ring as John Galt, that's for sure. He has two first names though, like Ricky Bobby, or me, now that I think about it. But he also has a title, and that title is former mayor of Nashville. He also has another title right now, and it is running to be the Democratic nominee for governor of the state of Tennessee. First one definitely has a better ring to it. It's more Dean than Karl. Now, many of you watching this show are probably from Nashville. I am not. I am from Knoxville. So if I butcher anything about your great city in this episode, just chalk it up to me being an East Tennessee boy who didn't get that Brentwood education. And Dean was mayor from 2007 to 2015. For some reason, his Wikipedia page picture is in black and white, despite, again, serving in 2015. Now, before deciding to be mayor, which is what you do when you are a rich attorney, he was a professor of law at Vanderbilt Law School and law director of the Nashville metro area. His tenure as mayor seems to have been, well, popular at the least. He was re-elected in 2011 with a whopping 79% of the vote, after all. But that popularity seems based in a general, let's say, new Democrat motif that is willing to spend big, give big, and be quiet. Dean upped funding for schools by 37%, but also allowed privately run charter schools to move into the area, which remains a controversial decision to this day. Now, if you're unfamiliar, charter schools are privately run schools that receive federal money. And while the setup is nowhere near universal, they tend to not be subject to the same scrutiny as public schools when it comes to oversight, and are seen by many liberals as a drain on the public school system. I mean, heck, Craig Fitzhugh cited Dean's decision to support charter schools as the reason he decided to run against Dean for the nomination. You'll remember Craig Fitzhugh from last week. He's your uncle from Ripley. Now, last week, I also hinted that this primary was one about which type of Democrat would succeed post-2016, as the party looks to grow from coastal ivory towers into the places where people grow corn, or used to grow corn, or maybe want to grow corn. And truly, Fitzhugh and Dean work so well in contrast to each other. I mean, for example, Dean was also rabidly pro-business for a Democrat. He offered huge tax incentives for big corporations to move to the city, and it led to Nashville having, no joke, the third best recovery from the Great Recession in the nation. And that's impressive, but of course, it's also controversial. Catering to the whims of CEOs and their non-liable butts isn't going to win you any fans among folks who haven't seen a pay raise in 30 years. Fitzhugh may be a banker, but he's a small-town banker. He knows his mechanic, or is his own mechanic. Dean's the type of guy a lot of people don't think is driven in a while. Now, this is a reductive pairing for sure, but I think it is indicative of where the party is at right now. And I find it astounding that Tennessee, of all places, is where this thing is playing out. I mean, Dean has corporate friends with a somewhat controversial past on social issues, but he's a sane man who recognizes the threat of climate change, sees the good the government can do to help people, and seems incredibly qualified for the job. Now, that sounds like someone we all used to know and probably not love given opinion polls. Look, I'm not going to be making endorsements on this show. Hopefully I've been veiled enough in my commentary so that you don't really know who I'd pick. But I will say that this is primarily a choice among Tennessee Democrats, and that is something that Tennessee Democrats have not had in a very, very long time. And it has been longer still since that choice has meant anything to our national conversation. So choose wisely, and thanks for watching.